TV. So, massive game this weekend, Manchester City, the team that I absolutely despise, and it's actually got worse over the last few seasons. As I've always said, this is the team that is as plastic as can be. Alright, yeah, they did have quite a decent attendance in League One years ago when they got relegated, so they were a decent sort of well-supported club. But the extra, they were getting around about an average of 28,000 every game, right, on average. So there's an extra 25,000 new supporters, and they're all the glory hunting bandwagon jumpers. And I've bumped into them. I bumped into them many times on the way to Wembley, when, you know, we used to ask them, like, what's your confidence with today's match, and they'd go, oh, we're not really bothered, we're just here as part of a complimentary package with McDonald's or with Continental or whatever. They were basically going to a game they didn't give a toss about because Man City need to put bums in seats because they can't sell out their allocation. That's not even me talking shit. I've actually seen it. So it's a huge game, and I'm going to talk about quite a few things leading up to it because it's been a really, really tough couple of weeks as a Liverpool fan. And I'm so proud of how we've all stood together, as in, you know what I'm speaking about, as Jurgen Klopp described, was nice and calm and never ever put him under any extra pressure. The ones that were saying Klopp out, the ones that were whining and whinging, the idiots on Twitter trying to get a protest started for this Sunday, when the last thing they need at the moment is all that. I mean, let's not forget what all these protests have done to Man United as a football club. The division between Glazers and Man United is so far apart. Their team is suffering for that, and I'm not being funny, but they took the piss out of us for beating Rangers 7-1 the night before, and it took them to the 94th minute last night to beat a Cyprus football team called Ammonia Nicosia. 94th minute. So we hate Manx, we've always hated Manx, and it goes as far as saying we despise them. I hate them, I've always hated them and always will hate them. They're cocky, arrogant bastards, the Mancunians. But Man City take it to a new level because they build statues of players that have, that not even got out of their 30s yet. It's just, if anything screams more plastic than that, then I don't know. You've got, Jesus Christ, can you imagine if Liverpool did a statue for winning league titles like they've done with David Silva, Aguero, with the shirt getting, fucking hell, you'd need 19 statues. It just again shows you. I was talking about this at Celtic the other day, because Celtic have a picture of the 1967 Lisbon Lions lifting the European Cup outside the ground. And I actually said to my boss, I said that's great, and it's great that you know that is the pinnacle of what Celtic have achieved in Europe. I said, but Liverpool don't even have one. They don't. Liverpool don't even have one statue to commemorate us even winning a European Cup. We've won fucking 6 of them. We've been to 10 finals, and that's incredible, isn't it? We've had that much glory and history in our time at Liverpool that we don't even do statues for European Cup winning managers or players. Steven Gerrard, if he played for Manchester City and Arsenal, they'd have statues of him outside their stadium right now. It's unbelievable. But Liverpool don't do that, because Liverpool, they're a bastion in terms of a club that is. I don't think Real Madrid have any statues outside their stadium of winning the European Cup. I don't know, someone correct me if they're wrong, but I can't remember ever seeing the Bernabeu milking the fact they've won, I think, 14 or 13 European Cups. So it's unbelievable. But anyway, this weekend's going to be a tough test. I'm not daft, it's going to be a tough test, but I'm glad that, I wouldn't say Klopp's listening to me, but he seems to be doing exactly what I said to do, which was to drop, I'm sure there's supporters out there that have been hoping for the similar what I'm about to say now. I was hoping that he would drop the 4-2-4 because it's clearly too advantageous, it's too attacking, and we don't have enough in midfield. I don't know whether he was doing that to call out to John Henry to say, look, I can only play 2 in midfield here, I'm having to play 4 attackers. Because it's weird how 48 hours later, I got a text from a very, very close, well, listen, let's just say I've still got good contacts in the Liverpool City area and that, and I got told that the green light has been given to push forward the budget, some of the budget, sorry, for the summer in January. Now, 160 million is what I've been told is available. So you can either look at it like this: we can get 3 players for 40 each, 40, 80, 120, or 50 each, more or less, 50, 52, 53 million each. Or we could go out and just spend, 80 million each on 2 players. I mean, I don't know if Liverpool are going to do that, because it's not really the way we go about. But this bullshit and this narrative that there's not any players out there, there's tons of players out there. You've got the lad in the midfield at Lazio who's pulling up trees. You've got Nico Barella that scored at the Nou Camp for Inter Milan midweek. You've got, I think we missed the trip with Basuma. I think we should have got Basuma because he was peanuts, really, 30 million. But I tell you what, there's some lads at Crystal Palace that I think we should take a look at. I mean, I couldn't believe that Liverpool didn't buy Elise. He was £8 million a release. That was his minimum fee release at Reading, and he's awesome. And you've got obviously Nicola, the Eze plays for Palace as well. So they've got some really good midfielders. But I'm not just saying that that's the cheap one we could get. But there is players out there. I mean, we need some warriors in the middle. That's what we need. We've got the technical player with Thiago and all that. All right, he doesn't play very often. So if it was me, I would say, right, 80 million on a Gini Wijnaldum type player, let's say. Someone that's going to be dogged, someone that's going to chase and press and protect Trent Alexander-Arnold in the back 4. And then spend 80 million on a Nico Barella and probably throw in Naby Keita. Now that's what I'd do. I'd give Naby Keita and Nico Barella Naby Keita and 80 million for Nico Barella. Or I'd go to Leicester City and say, here's 30 million for Tielemans, because I think he's in the last year of his contract, and get him. There's many options out there. It doesn't necessarily just have to be panic buy, because Liverpool don't do that, and that's the way it is. And what really bugs me is this narrative at the moment that we're an ageing team and that we should have corrected it. Well, excuse me, haven't we? Because I'm sure we brought in a 19-year-old right back called Calvin Ramsey, who apparently is unbelievable. Even Klopp said that. We brought in Fabio Carvalho, who again was outstanding midweek. Harvey Elliott, I'm sure we want to see him play more and more and more, because that kid's going to go to the top. He's going to get better and better. So I understand that we still need more additions in the midfield, but I don't necessarily think it's players that are really, really young, because we've got them. Let's not forget Tyler Morton's pulling up trees at the moment on loan at Blackburn. He's been outstanding, and he was great for us last season. Let's not forget he played in the San Siro against Inter Milan for us and was very good. With Tyler Morton coming through, we've got that Basic, the Spaniard coming through, who was outstanding pre-season, on the bench again against Arsenal and Rangers. So the youth's already there. I don't get why people keep saying we need to bring in young players. The young players are there. I don't think we need to bring in young players. I think we need to bring in a 25 plus. I reckon somebody in that bracket from 25 to 30 is what we need to bring in. We don't need to bring in... Right, Jude Bellingham's a different ball game, because he is world class and he will just get better and better and better and better and better. So, to me, Jude Bellingham is a no-brainer, and it's also a no-brainer because you don't want him going to Man City and you don't want him going to Chelsea. And the fact that he liked Harvey Elliott's tweet the other day about scoring at Ibrox his first Champions League goal, he follows Jordan Henderson. He's good mates with Jordan Henderson. He's Steven Gerrard's his idol, right? He supported Liverpool growing up, right? And now he's following Harvey Elliott's posts on social media. So I just think that he knows he's coming to Liverpool. I just think that that's why he's not kicking off at Dortmund. I think that the deal was in place in the summer that Liverpool would have to wait one more year. Dortmund do that. They've always done that. I've already said in previous videos that they do not sell 2 big players in the same window. So we knew that anyway, right? So I'm hoping that Liverpool probably do the deal in January, right, and get it set for the summer, because, or it might even be already in writing. You don't know. I look at it like this: who are Dortmund want to do business with? Because the Germans. You think we hate Man City? The Germans cannot stand ownership like that, right? They can't stand it, because all the teams in Germany, bar Red Bull Leipzig, are owned by the fans. And, you know, if you've ever seen the price of football in Germany, you know, I think it's like 15 quid to get in at Bayern Munich. I think a season ticket's like £280. They get beers for next to nothing. It's unbelievable. So Jurgen Klopp's a legend at Dortmund. So they would want to do business with Liverpool anyway over Man City any day of the fucking week, and Chelsea even worse. So if you look at it like this, I actually think that you could see Naby Keita go to Dortmund because he was unbelievable in Germany, and then a cash deal. So Dortmund get Naby Keita, Liverpool get Jude Bellingham, and then Dortmund get, even if it is 100 million euros, I'm sure that Liverpool could batter a deal with Dortmund to say 25 million euro a season. Because they did that with Thiago. The people think we paid a lot for Thiago, 25 million, but it was actually 5 million per season. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this Sunday. I mean, I really am, because I was arguing with a few of our supporters this week that was umming and ahhing, we're going to get battered at Anfield on Sunday, and I'm thinking, is that how bad you support this club? The fact that you sat here, we've lost 2 games this season, 2, right? We're more or less in the knockouts now, the Champions League. We're still in the FA Cup, we're still in the League Cup, we're 3 points off the top 4 if we win our game in hand. And these people are talking like we're going to get relegated. How the hell can you look at that squad and think that it is going to finish mid-table? You're off your fucking head. I say that all the time to these supporters, they're loonies. And I love what Jamie Carragher said. Jurgen Klopp is a god in Liverpool, and not one Liverpool supporter would have even questioned him. But I've noticed that he actually put Liverpool supporter, because that's who he's talking about. If you're calling for Klopp out and you're calling for him to be sacked, it's nothing to do with the fact that you think the performances are not good enough. It's that you want to humiliate him and sack him like he's a piece of shit. You wouldn't even let him see out the season, even if we did finish 10th. Out of respect, you let him finish the season, right? And then you say, sorry Jurgen, but we can't finish 10th. Or you give him another year to put it right, because you know what? That's what he deserves. So the fact that you want to sack a man that is a god to us means you're just not a Liverpool fan. You're just one of those little PlayStation fans that cannot handle losing. And I'll say that till the cows come home, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. You know, it just makes me laugh. I mean, I had a couple of arguments yesterday on another Facebook page with somebody calling me a wool. Fucking wool. What does that mean? Because you don't come from Liverpool. So? What's that fucking mean? Do you know, these people that class themselves as the best supporters, I've done more at Liverpool than they've ever done in their life. And that's what does me head in. We need to clear out these idiots that make the fan base poisonous. Because if you look at Man United, right, Man United have that fan base because they're so used to winning, they're so used to glory. I mean, look at Arsenal TV. I'd love to see their ratings now, because I bet they have gone down by absolute millions, because they're doing well and nobody's clicking on it now. But do you look how bad their fan base got, and you've got little celebrities like that flipping Troops and all that, all he was ever doing was slagging his. Can you imagine if Troops was a Liverpool fan? Jurgen Klopp would have been demanded out last week. These are the idiots you need to get rid of in your fan base, and that's why I said last week that I wish I could block them from the club like you can on social media, because they're just I call them parasites. That's what they are. I mean, I've actually got these names of people in my head that are always waiting for Liverpool to lose to then bring the FSG little flag out. Get rid of them. And I always say, why do they say that mid-season? Why don't they wait to see if they're proven right? Because I think we've had this with them a few times. The season that we didn't buy any players, we actually won the league. And we had that with them then. The season again, last year, they didn't like the fact we didn't bring in enough players, but we nearly did the quadruple. And the season that we lost all of our defence and brought in Ben Davis and Kabach, we finished third. Because I don't know how many more times I have to explain to these people that Klopp isn't being held back by our owners. They sing from the same hymn sheet. They do not panic buy. They go out and they have a set target. If they cannot purchase that target, they wait. Look at Luis Diaz. They were going to wait for him until the summer. They found out that Tottenham were trying to get the deal done in January. They moved, bang, got the deal done, right? Darwin Núñez the same, bang, deal done, right? So Liverpool have a list of names, and Jude Bellingham's one of them. So whilst you're screaming FSG out, they're shit owners, all they ever do is flipping, pocket all the money. It makes me laugh. Did they not see the Anfield Road end at the moment being built as we speak? I mean, what do they think that comes with? A Willy Wonka's fucking golden factory ticket out of a chocolate bar? I mean, sorry, but has Manchester United's owners even improved one part of their stadium? No, but they spend shitloads of money on players, so that makes them better owners. Look at all them players. They took 94 minutes yesterday to beat Ammonia Nicosia. So just because you spend shitloads of money does not make you a great owner. It makes you erratic. Not being funny. Here's an example. Nottingham Forest owner has put that club at risk. He has put that club at risk of going into administration and being another Derby County because he has funded £200 million worth of transfers, brought in 22 players, which I'm sure the fans fucking loved, and they're shy. They don't know what their best 11 is. They don't know what. And if they get relegated to the Championship and don't come back up first season, then Forest are in big danger. And is that what you want? You want another George Gillette and Tom Hicks? Because I don't. So even though it is frustrating sometimes, John Emre and FSG have made Liverpool a financial powerhouse. We've just got fucking Coca-Cola now in. We've got Nike, everything. And I'm not being funny, but people think they don't spend anything. Didn't we spend, well, it's going to go up to 85 million euros, and people think, we've only spent 60 million euros on Núñez. But did you not see that it was after making 10 appearances for Liverpool, they get like 4 million? And if he makes a few Champions League appearances, it goes up by another. I think that deal's a nap. It's 85 million euro. It's just going to be structured. The reason why they put these stupid instalments in is, say for example, Darwin Núñez does his knee in the first game and he can't play again and he gets sent home and he's told he can never play football again, then he's not going to play 10 games for us, and it saves Liverpool £4 million. So it sounds daft, but it's to protect themselves from something drastic happening. Or, no disrespect, God bless him, like Emiliano Sala when he died in an aeroplane crash. These instalments could save a club 25 million quid in add-ons, and I know it sounds bad to say that, but that's how ruthless business is. So what I'm saying is Liverpool and FSG do spend money. I mean, we spent like 10 million on Carvalho. We spent, I think it's 8 million, wasn't it, on Calvin Ramsey, and then we spent. What's 85 million euros? Around about 72 million on Núñez. It's not like we've gone into this season with free transfers. They didn't know that all of our midfield would get injured at the same time. They haven't got a crystal pissing ball. So they make mistakes whilst they're trying to run the club, but that happens. But we're not Man City. Man City can make financial mistakes and they just put the fucking price of oil up and cover their back, or just get a dodgy company, just make out that. I mean, you not heard the news about them sponsoring this new sponsorship deal that they've got, which has been proven to not even been an operating company for like a few years. They're corrupt. And the Erling Haaland deal, it's been leaked that he's on 900 grand a week. How the fucking hell are they getting away with paying him 900 grand a week? And then the deal was 53 million to buy him, but then they give 100 million to his dad and his agent. So then if you count the 48 million a year he's on in wages, that deal's nearly 400 million pound for one player. And then you've got idiots that want us to win the league every season because they think we should, when we're behind that. But I'll tell you something now, I would rather lift trophies, right, win trophies with Liverpool, doing it our way than doing it that way. Because I don't want Saudi money, I don't want oil money, I want Liverpool to be successful from the income that comes in through the turnstiles, through the shirt sales, through TV revenue for being successful, because that makes us operating properly, running properly, and being Liverpool. So I'm just going to do my preview and then I'm going to finish this video off. Say hello to everyone quickly. Morning Stephen, morning Michael. Yeah, I'm just going to read the preview, boys, and then I'm done. I don't want to make it too long, this video, but let's get on it now. Here's my preview for Manchester City. So, in what would usually be a potential title-defining Premier League clash, this particular meeting between Liverpool and Man City sees these sides' fortunes further apart than they have been for years. Liverpool's tally of 10 points after 8 games, winning 2, drawing 4, losing 2, is their worst Premier League start in a decade, although a thumping 7-1 victory against Rangers in midweek European action should have calmed some newfound nerves around Anfield. The Reds did it the hard way to secure victories versus Rangers, yet again conceding first, something they've also done in the 10 of their last 12 Premier League games. Losing only twice in that time may be the reassurance Klopp's men need when they welcome the league's most frequent opening goal-getters in the shape of Manchester City. As should the fact that Liverpool are undefeated in their last 13 home games, with hosting Premier League champions of the season prior 7 and withdrawing 6. So in the last 13 times at Anfield we played the reigning Premier League champions, we have not lost a game and we have won 7 and drawn 6. This City team have been both unstoppable force and an immovable object in the Premier League campaign, being the highest scorers and sharing the best defensive record heading into this weekend, with 33 goals scored and 9 conceded. City was surprisingly held by Copenhagen in the Champions League in midweek, but there's certainly no surprise at the undefeated start to the Premier League campaign, winning 7, drawing 2, which formed part of an incredible 21-game unbeaten run with 16 wins and 5 draws. Manager Pep Guardiola may be wary of this wounded Liverpool side after losing the FA Cup semi-final and Community Shield in the last 2 head-to-heads, but he has had the measure of Liverpool in the league. City make the short trip down the M62 on the back of 5 unbeaten Premier League head-to-heads, winning 2 and drawing 3, and now have the opportunity to extend that to 6 for the first time in Premier League history. The players to watch is Liverpool's Mohamed Salah, scored the fastest hat-trick in Champions League history in midweek, setting him up well to continue his streak of 6 goal contributions in the past 6 games with City, against City, scoring 4 and assisting 2. Aiming to upstage him in what will be his 10th career Premier League appearance, Erling Haaland could become the first City player to score in 8 consecutive Premier League games. Hot stat, there's been goals in both halves in 14 of the last 16 Liverpool matches. Will not play 100% is Trent Alexander-Arnold, Arthur, Diaz, Naby Keita, Matip and Chamberlain, and questionable is Curtis Jones. Injuries for Manchester City is Bernard Mendy, suspended. I think he's in jail, isn't he? He's in the nick. Calvin Phillips, shoulder injury. John Stones, thigh injury. Kyle Walker. Now that's big news that Kyle Walker and Stones are out. I think that's going to be because Kyle Walker has the pace. The referee is Anthony Taylor, who's from Wythenshawe, Manchester, which is a piss take. Sky Sports main event, 4:30 kick-off. So enjoy the match, and I'll be doing the usual videos after the match because I'm working this weekend for Celtic. We've got Hibs. So, like I say, enjoy the weekend you're going to have, and I'll speak to you all soon. You'll never walk alone.